past him and positioned himself adjacent to the coach. He took aim at the uncovered window, but Regan was already squeezing the trigger on the rapid-fire rifle. The cartridges exploded in his chest, and he tumbled backwards off his mount. The coach thundered on. The third hombre must have realized the odds weren't in his favor. A grim Regan watched him grab the reins of the riderless horse. He and the slumped man she'd shot in the arm rode back the way they'd come. Whether the one they left behind was dead, she didn't know. Breathing harshly and shaking, she fell back against the seat. Only then did she acknowledge how terrified she'd been. Her roiling stomach made her think she might be sick, but she thanked her recently deceased neighbor, Mr. Blanchard, for his rifle lessons. Shoot first, puke later, he'd told the then 11-year-old Regan and her older sister, Portia. The memory made her smile, and she drew in a deep breath that calmed her frayed nerves. The coach slowed, then stopped. When the door opened, an alarmed Regan grabbed the Winchester. It was the driver, Mr. Denby. For a moment he stared at her in awe. "That was some mighty good shooting, miss. Wasn't expecting that. Not with you all fancy dressed the way you are." Regan silently acknowledged the compliment. "Are you and Mr. Casey all right?" "No. Casey's heart gave out. He's dead." "Oh, no. I'm so sorry." "I'd be dead, too, if it hadn't been for you. Do you mind riding up top with me so I can put his body in the coach?" "Of course not." With her help, Casey's body was placed on the seat. After handing Denby her rifle, she hiked up the skirt of her fancy blue traveling ensemble and climbed the large front wheel to the seat. "You do that like you've been climbing wagons all your life." "I have. I drove the mail back home in Arizona Territory." He chuckled. "Really?" She nodded. "You here to visit family?" "No. I'm a mail-order bride. The man's name is Dr. Colton Lee." Denby began coughing. "What's wrong?" "Nothing. Just a tickle in my throat. Let's get going. We should make it to Paradise before sunset." He got the horses moving, but Regan swore the coughing fit must have meant something else, because when she glanced his way, Denby was smiling. Before they'd gone another mile, she spied another group of men riding hard in their direction. This time there were no bandanas, and their open dusters were flapping like birds of prey. She grabbed her rifle and took aim. "I think the man that got away has returned with friends. You keep driving. I'll try and hold them off." He let out a curse and slapped the reins down on the horses' backs. The coach picked up speed, but she could tell by the rate they were moving that the poor beasts were tired. "How many men?" Denby yelled. He was unable to see the riders from his seat. 8. Regan knew there was no way she'd be able to hold her own against so many armed men. She was terrified, but as they got within range, she steadied her aim and fired repeatedly. There were 3 men riding point. She hit one in the shoulder, but apparently the bullet only grazed him because he slapped a hand over the injury and kept riding. They began returning fire, but she realized they were firing in the air. They'd also halted their mounts. Curious but not drawing down, she waited over her pounding heart. "What's the matter?" Denby asked. "They've stopped." He pulled back on the reins to halt the coach and stood up cautiously. After assessing the riders, he waved his arms as if signaling them and asked her, "Did that rifle of yours hit anybody?" "I caught the one in the black duster in the shoulder." "Why? Do you know them?" "Yep. It's the sheriff, Whit Lambert." Her eyes widened. "I shot the sheriff?" "No, ma'am. The man in the black duster is Doc Lee. You just plugged your soon-to-be husband." And by his